Hello everybody, and welcome to Crafty Hour 35 here with Kourtney with Scrapbook-N-Memories. So I hope everybody tuned in today at noon on Clipper Street and watched Diane. She had some beautiful cards, and it's funny, we kind of used the same embellishments and we didn't know what each other was doing, so it was kind of fun. So welcome everybody, welcome to Crafty Hour 35. I hope everybody's grabbed a kit. If not, I think both stores might have just one or two still available that you guys can grab on the websites. So I'm going to kind of be playing with the shaker cards and different shaped cards. And we're just going to make some fun stuff. So welcome everybody. As you're saying hello, hit play and then I realized how, so I apologize, how filthy my surface is. It's starting to get worn out. So I'm in Studio B, not Studio A. Studio A has a nice white one. So anyways, moving on. Welcome everybody. Good evening. I digress. So we're going to be doing 3 cards. We're waiting for everybody to jump on. I'm just going to move these cards out of the way and just kind of post or show you guys what to kind of grab out of your kit as you're joining in. It wasn't a huge kit, so it's not like there was a lot of digging to do. So I didn't feel like we needed to necessarily post it as homework. So I'm just going to lay out what you need to grab if you want to grab these while we're waiting. The really pretty, this was my favorite one in the whole set. The really pretty flowers with the teal. The yellow with the plaid, that was my second favorite. I know, right? Studio B. Because Studio A is a mess for Maker Mania still. You know how when you're done with a project, you just kind of like close the door and move on? Yeah, that's what I did. Close the door and go to my other craft room. Different area. So there's the polka dots. You're going to grab this one that has the 4 cut aparts and this one that has the 9 cut aparts. So that's just the paper you're going to need. So if you guys want to grab those while we're waiting for everybody to join, feel free to grab those. If not, like I said, the kit wasn't a bazillion pieces to dig through this time, so it's a little easier to find them. So that's why I didn't assign those for homework, because I thought you'd be fine. A scratch piece of white paper. That's at least, let's say 3, this one right here, 2 5/8 by 4 1/4. I did not cut mine yet. If yours is not cut yet, don't worry about it, but I just got a white piece of scrap paper is what you're going to need. Oh, Elena, thank you. She said she just saw my Maker Mania today. Thank you so much. I did 2 art journal pages from start to finish. I was surprised with myself that I actually got them completed in my time that was allowed. And then lots of extra inspirations and stuff from the fabulous Amy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed Maker Mania, and hopefully you will be signing up for number 10. Sign up for number 10 because it is going to be off the hook. Okay, so there's those pieces. For ephemera to grab, evidently I loved Hoppy Easter. I have a white rabbit. Ooh, maybe I should have brought Ellis in for this. He could have been the introducer. I have an indoor white bunny. So I just love Hoppy Easter. So I grabbed the big one and the small one. So make sure we're going to play with those. Oh, Amy's on right now. You are welcome, girl. I love your work. There's the egg. This is the big one. I really like the egg in that set. So we're going to play with that. We're going to play with both of the flowers that was in this set. And then the bunny rabbit, because you know, I just have to have the bunny rabbit. And then you know me and shakers. Girl, when I saw a little frame, I'm like, that's going to be a shaker card. So those are the pieces to grab. Grab those pieces while we're just kind of waiting for everybody to tune on and to find us. This kit was really adorable. It had some amazing, I love the bling that was in it. So we will be using the rhinestones. We will be playing with the rhinestones. We will be playing with the buttons. So make sure to have those available too. Ooh, Kelly says she has deer in the window watching me. Ooh, that's kind of awesome. That's awesome. Yes, we had a watch party at our store, and it was fun. We sat and laughed and snacked and had a great time. Took lots of notes. I got 0 crafting done, but Amy was cranking out some stuff as usual. Some awesome ideas. There was just so many ideas on Maker Mania. I'm telling you, it's an amazing, amazing event. If you guys have not jumped in yet, not a Maker Maniac, you guys, you have to jump in. It's just a fabulous. It's so much fun. So many ideas and inspiration. And, gosh, I was even taking notes of, ooh, I got to go back and do this kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to get started. I think everybody is on. It looks like everybody's, don't deliver in the yard. Doing that. Huh, I got squirreled. So I'm going to move all these pieces out of the way. For this first card, you're going to need a white card base, which is just your A2 card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, folded in half, or an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper, cut in half and folded. Okay. So you're just going to need your card base. Hello, I see more people signing on. Hello, hello, everybody. Okay, so you're going to need your white card base. We're going to need that blue piece and the yellow piece. And then your embellishments. And I'll just stick these guys up here at the top. We don't need them right now, but you're going to need your Easter egg. And then your 2 beautiful flowers. And then that scrap piece of white paper I told you to get. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut down our blue piece of paper. We're going to cut it down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And what this is going to do is it's just going to frame it so you have just a little hair of white all the way around the outside edges. All right, anybody seeing my trimmer? I swear I grabbed everything before we started. Oh, there it is. Underneath my Big Shot. That's a good safe place to keep it. Okay, so we're going to do, and this is not directional, so it doesn't matter where you put it, but we're going to put it at 4 1/8. And save this. We're going to come back and use this later. I really like this paper, so we are going to use that later. So 4 1/8, and then we're going to flip it and do 5 3/8. So 1, 2, 3. 5 3/8 is in between 1/4 and 1/2. In between 1/4 and 1/2. And I love, love, love the Spellbinders trimmer, also the Dress My Craft trimmer. Both of them are the same, but it has all your measurements at the top, and it's easy to see the grids and counts. Now, something I did on my trimmer, if you notice, when you come over here to the left-hand side, it was just like clear plastic, and I couldn't see where my 6 1/4 and those measurements were. So I just took a black Sharpie and filled that in, so now I can read my measurements. So just a quick little hint and trick on that. Okay, so our blue piece of paper is going to go flat onto our white piece of paper, and you're going to have that little bit of rim all the way around it. Now, I did not, and I know, don't be shocked, but I didn't use any foils this time. I kind of just stuck to the cardstocks that were in the kit. So I did not use any foils. You could totally go in and add some gold foil, which would be gorgeous. You could add some pink or purple foils. So feel free to always make them however you guys would like. Okay, so this next piece, I really, so you know, Deanna and I went to Germany. We had a great time. We brought in all these amazing dies, and I've been staring at this die, and I thought, I have to use this die. If you do not have this die, it's okay. You can just cut it straight. But I loved it. It was called Torn Edge Rectangle, and when I saw this in a booth, it sang to me. We're going to use the largest one on there. Largest one on there. And what it's going to do, is this not adorable? Is going to create this torn edge. Isn't that pretty? Oh. So if you don't have that die, don't worry about it. You're going to cut your piece of yellow 3 3/4 by 5. 3 3/4 by 5. If you do have this die, you're going to grab out the largest one. See how I'm flexible? Use what you have. Use what you have. or use what you don't have. And then maybe you might see something you like. And then if you want to purchase that die, then by all means, purchase that die. But you don't have to have it. You can make it without the die. I just wanted to jazz it up a little bit. I just wanted to jazz it up a little bit. Okay. Ah, is that not beautiful? Beautiful. Okay, that was the largest one. It's just called Torn Edge. Oh, yes. Amy says use a decal edge ruler or your decal cutter, too. So if you have that Tim Holtz decal trimmer, absolutely grab that, too. That'll work. See, there's always ways to improvise with what you have. Use that stuff in your stash if you don't have the items we're using. Hello, Josie. Okay, so once that's cut out, now we're going to take that piece of white paper and we're going to cut it to 2 5/8 by 4 1/4. 2 5/8 by 4 1/4. And you know what? I'm going to, well, no, we'll go ahead and cut it. Sometimes I emboss first and then cut it, but this measurement does not really matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This measurement really doesn't matter because what we're doing is we're just laying it in the background. It's just a background piece. We're just layering it. 4 1/4. Oh, it was already 4 1/4. Get there. Okay, I'm going to bring my die cutting machine back in. This time I'm using an embossing folder, so I do have to change my layers. Now, for the embossing folder, I told you just to grab whatever you have that has texture. I own this one. It's a Tim Holtz one. Kind of looks like a linen weave. Also have this, which looks like a basket weave, which would look cool. Diane had you guys grab some flower embossing folders. So use whatever you have, because all it is just a layered piece right here. If you don't have embossing folders, just use a piece of white linen cardstock. Linen cardstock already kind of has a texture to it too. So just use that. Again, grab what you have. I'm using a Tim Holtz 3D embossing folder. I'm going to put my paper in and I'm going to take my mister and lightly mist it. Woo! Maybe I'm going to drown it. That was a lot of water. That mister put out way more water than I thought it was going to. Hold on. That was fun. That's going to have more texture. Woo, that was soaking wet. Then we're going to run it through. And we're going to emboss it. All right. When I do 3Ds, I like to put it in, back it up, and run it again. So I like to kind of go through it on 2 layers, just to kind of work it through the system, to kind of work through the layers. And then there is my textured. What I love about embossing folders is the A sides be cool, but the B sides are cool too. So you could use either or side. You can use whatever side you want. I feel like, I don't have my heat tool here. I feel like my mister got a little carried away and made that way too wet. Which my next thing to put it on, let me see if I can dry that really quick. Man, talk about a drowned rat, right? Okay. What do they say? Do as I say, not as I do. So I'm just going to dry my piece of paper really quick because my mister really came out fast. It really drowned it. Okay, you guys still might be cutting. So we had our blue piece that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. We have our yellow piece. Either decal edge it with a trimmer, use the die, or just cut it straight. Cut it straight. And white is 2 5/8 by 4 1/4, and then you're going to emboss it. And the die I used is those new ones we got from Card Deco. It's called Torn Edge Rectangles. Torn Edge Rectangles. It is beautiful. Oh, now I'm picking up the blue off my mat. So my embossed piece is going to have a little bit of color to it too. Boy, you would think it was my first day of crafting. Okay, I'm going to glue the white piece down, and I'm going to put a lot of glue on there because that thing's wet. Glue the white piece down to your yellow. So that piece is going to go flat. I feel like I'm doing a bloopers reel today. A little bit of a bloopers. Okay, so the white piece embossed with whatever you guys have, doesn't have to be anything special, is embossed on there. Okay, then we are going to tie a piece of ribbon around it. And I said to grab a sheer ribbon, white ribbon, whatever ribbon you have that matches this. Lord knows we all collect ribbon. We have a stash of ribbon. So grab whatever you have, and we're going to put some ribbon around it. And I find that for some reason, I always make my bows upside down. So if I purposely start upside down, maybe my bow will be right side up. I don't know. Do you guys do that too? Whenever I finish my bows, I look at them and I'm like, the tails are always upside down. And there's probably a proper bow etiquette of why that does that, but who knows? Well, now my bow's sideways. Put that leg over there. And then when you cut your ribbons, cut your ribbon at an angle, and that keeps it from fraying also. Cut them at an angle. I'm going to tell this bow who's boss. Okay, now this whole piece, we are going to pop it. We're going to put foam on the back side of it, and I'm going to use what I call low foam. So low foam is the one that says it's 108. 108 on the packaging. The one that I call like a medium foam is the one Deanna likes to use a lot, and that's the one that says it's 54 in a pack, 54 feet. Okay, so we're just going to pop that whole piece. How's everybody doing? We doing good tonight? Can't believe it's Thursday already. Although Tuesday I thought it was Friday, so I don't know what day of the week we're on. It was a long week with Makermania, I'm not going to lie. It's a long weekend. Okay, we're going to put that there. And then we're going to grab those little embellishments that we had. The little egg, I just kind of put them under here and kind of peekaboo him out, and I put him at an angle. I like things at an angle. To me, it's more, I don't know, appealing at the eye sometimes. And it might be because I have a hard time of doing things straight. So if you purposely start it out as an angle, makes it look like you were meant to be. Okay. So there's our eggs. Then we're going to grab our two flowers, and we are going to put pops on the back side of those. So I'm just going to use my squares. I'm going to pop one there, and then the other flower I'm going to pop also, and I'm going to overlap this other flower. I think Facebook is doing something weird today. I'm seeing lots of sad faces. Hopefully that's an accident. Or Facebook being dumb again. Okay, and then we're going to grab the buttons. And I'm going to use 2 of the orange ones. You can use whatever color you want. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. This white glue works good for everything. And I'm just going to glue the centers to those cute little flowers. Okay, and then there's card number 1. Super cute. Got a little texture, a little bit of layers. Really kind of easy and fun. Card number 1. Okay, so let me move those out of the way. Okay, card number 2. We're going to do a shaker, and we're going to kind of do a shaped card. A shaped card. So, again, I'm going to show you how to do it with the die. If you don't have the die, I will tell you how to do it without the die. So, I've got a white card base, but I wanted to show you how you can make cards, shaped cards, out of your dies. Okay. Excuse me. So this one is called Rounded Jewels. Rounded Jewels. If you don't have this die, grab a corner rounder. A corner rounder will work perfect. I know everybody probably has a corner rounder. Way back when we used to do scrapbooking, we rounded everything. Everything got a corner rounder on it. Okay, so I'm going to grab the largest die. Oh, hi, Joe. Thank you. I'm going to grab the largest die. And like I said, this one is called Rounded Jewels. It's from Hero Arts. We're going to do a cute little shape. There's just something about 2 sharp edges and 2 rounded edges that I just think is adorable. I really, really liked it. So grab your die cutting machine. And the trick to this is when you put your die on here, because we have our card, so we've got our card base and our score is over here. And make sure it's on the left. I know our last Crafty Hour, a lot of people did their cards backwards. We made lots of left-handed cards. So you're going to notice your score is over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your die and we're going to put it on your pre-scored card and you're going to overlap it. See how, so I'm not putting my die in the center so it die cuts. I'm going to shift my die. So say, oh, shift, and you'll remember to do it. I'm going to shift my die over so when it cuts, it is not going to cut here. Can you see that? Can you see there's open space there? We don't want to cut there. So that will leave that fold for us. And again, if you do not have this die, it's okay. Hold on 1 second and I will tell you how to do it without the die. I just got some new fun dies and I wanted to play with them. And this one, I'm going to back it up because we are going through 2 layers of cardstock at the same time. So now when I take my die off, this is discard, you're going to see there's our card front now. And it's going to open up and there's your score. So we have a fun shaped card. So that's why we're always telling you guys to get nesting dies. Nesting dies are a tool. They are something you're going to use over and over and over again because your nesting dies, you can make card bases with them. You can do scrapbook frames with them. You can do your card fronts and stuff with them. Nesting dies are one of those dies that you'll use over and over and over again. Probably butterflies too. We use a lot of butterflies, but they're often dies that are overlooked, but they make it so much easier. So if you do not have this die, you're going to make your card front 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Then you're going to take your corner rounder and stick it in, and you're going to round one edge. You're going to stick it in, and you're going to round the other edge. So if you don't have the die, that's how you're going to get this look. Take your A2 card, cut it down to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 squared, and then just round it with your corner rounder. Okay, so the next layer, we need to grab a piece of paper. And this one's going to be I'm going to call it confetti. Kind of looks like confetti. Little polka dotted confetti. Right? There's always more than one way to do something. And again, if you want to grab a new die, grab a new die. But if you have a rounder in your stash, grab your photo rounder from your stash. It's all about using what you have too. Use what you have. Okay, so if you're using the die set, you're going to grab the next die down. So this is the second one in from the outside. The next die in. And then we're just going to die cut this on that confetti paper. If you're using your corner rounder and you don't have the die, you're going to cut your confetti paper to 4 by 4. 4 by 4. And then you're going to use your corner rounder and you're going to round those same exact edges that you did for your card base. So see, 2 different ways to make the same card. 2 different ways. Okay, so we got our shaped card base. And we have our little guy that's going to go in here and nest perfectly. So if you don't have your die, you're going to cut it 4 by 4. Use your corner rounder, put it in, and just snip, snip. If you don't have a corner rounder, get one. Corner rounders are very handy, inexpensive, and they just add a little jazz. See how that just adds a little something, something? Just a little jazz. Okay, remember that teal piece that we had earlier that I said, don't lose me? Grab that piece. Grab that piece. And what we're going to do is we're just going to glue it on right there. And I'm not even going to do measurements. I am going to glue and snip the hangover. Just going to put her on straight-ish. It's all about ishing today. Straight-ish. And then we're just going to flip and snip. Flip and snip. You can use your trimmer. I'm just going to take my scissors because it's a nice straight edge and just snip it. So that's what we got so far. Okay. Now it's time to, we'll just set these guys aside. Now it's time to make a shaker card. Okay. So in that kit, we had this frame. Cute little frame. And then we had this piece of paper right here. I'm going to use this one. It says Somebody Loves You because I really thought that this lined up really cute and made a perfect shaker card. If you want to use Wishing You the Happiest Easter, go for it. If you want to use the bunny, ooh, do I do the bunny? No, I'm not going to do the bunny. If you want to use the bunny, use the bunny. If you want to use that, use it. Use whichever one you want. But we're just going to cut those out. I'm just going to put it on the trimmer and we're just going to chop, just kind of square it out. No exact measurements. We're just cutting out the square. Okay, so we have that. We have this. And now, since we're doing a shaker, we need a piece of acetate. Your piece of acetate is going to be 2.5 by 2.5. Or again, ish. You just want it to cover up. Yep, that's big enough. Cover up that back piece. 2.5 by 2.5. For acetate, and I know both of the stores carry this, I really like this one. This is the Dress My Craft acetate sheets. I really like this. It's a nice weight. It's great for shaker cards. Oh, vellum would be pretty too. Absolutely, Leslie. If you got vellum, vellum would absolutely be pretty too, because you can still see your shaker bits. They'll just be a little bit lighter. Absolutely. Okay, then I'm going to take, ooh, that score tape's kind of big. I don't know where my skinny score tape is. That'll work. We're going to take score tape, and you're going to go around all 4 edges of the back side of your frame. And then we're going to put the acetate in, and that's what's going to hold all those little Ghibli bits in so they don't fall out. Ooh, Leslie, you'll have to post yours with vellum because I know that's going to be super pretty. Let's see what you got. Okay, then we're just going to press. We're going to peel these off. And then push that acetate on there. Okay, and there we have our little window for our shaker card. Now we're going to add our foam pops. I love the scrapbook adhesive ones. These are the foam strips. They are perfect size for shakers. They just make it so easy. They come in white and they also come in black. These are the skinniest ones. They do come in a little bit wider width too. I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but they do come in a wider width. Deanna's not on. That mean I can sneaky peeky you guys stuff for tomorrow and I won't get in trouble? No, I heard she already let the cat out of the bag. I was going to let the cat out of the bag and then somebody else said, no, Deanna already told us. Okay, moving on. So then we're going to put some little Ghibli bits in, little sequins and things. The ones I used are these guys. These are buttons galore. They're called sparklets. And these ones are just called Easter time. There are tons of different ones they have. I love the sparklets because it has sequins in it. It has rhinestones. It has beads. It has gems. It has pearls. It has a little bit of everything in it. So that's what I decided to use for mine. And I am going to take a moment and make sure all of my pearls are flipped over. That way, because it's kind of tight, they won't flip once they're on there. Ooh, Karen's going to use the Doodlebug sprinkles. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Doodlebug just started doing sprinkles, and they came out with new ones with their Easter release, and they are stinking adorable. Also from Buttons Galore, I don't know if I have any here, they also have those clay pieces that are for shakers, which are also super adorable. Those would work. Okay, so I'm just putting some sequins in there, and then I'm going to peel off my backing on my foam. And then we'll just kind of center it down, and just drop her on. And how cute is that? Quick, easy shaker cards. I love shakers. Okay, so once you have all that done, we're going to take this piece and glue it to the center of that front that we're working on. Okay, we're going to glue that right to the center. And then we're going to put ribbon on it. I like to always pop my pieces that have ribbon because they don't always lay flat on the cards. So that's why on the one we did before, the yellow one, I put it on that piece and then popped it. And then on this one, we're going to put it on the piece and then pop it. It just helps the card lay nice and flat, nice and smooth. Otherwise, we don't want a buckly card. Don't want one that's going to buckle. Okay, so we're just going to take some ribbon. Again, whatever ribbon you guys have. I know you have ribbon in your stash. You've been collecting and hoarding it. So grab that ribbon out and use it. I kind of already have an idea for Crafty Hour 37. I kind of was already playing with it, which is unheard of me because I was playing with 37 before I played with 36. It's like when the creative juices are going, you just make it happen, right? Hey, what's that tail doing on that side? I could sit and play with bows all day, pulling it back and forth, back and forth. Okay, I'm going to shift him over. Make sure he's below where I can see my Somebody Loves You. And then this guy's going to get popped too. Again, I'm going to use the lower one. That is the 108, which I need to buy me a new roll. Good thing I know where to get some. Should I holler at Ken and tell him to put it on my tab? It's quiet hour in our house. I always tell the girls, they gotta, no barking, no squeaky toys. You gotta be quiet for an hour while Mama teaches. It's the worst hour of their life. Quiet hour. Okay, now we're going to pop that whole piece on our card front. Make sure your crease is on the left-hand side. Yep, we're good. Make sure your crease is on the left-hand side. I do too. I love shaker cards, and I really am loving... Ooh, I'll show you something. You think I can squirrel? Can I squirrel for like... Oh, I got plenty of time. We're going to finish that next card up too. I'm going to squirrel for a moment and show you some other shaker stuff that's fun for us shaker card makers. Okay, we'll finish this up really quick and then I'll show you. Then I had you grab Happy Easter. I had you grab a big one and a small one. We're going to do the small one. And we're just going to snip that off. Okay. You could put, oh, and I didn't get all the blue part. You could put a ribbon in it, some twine, a bow. You could put whatever you wanted. Man, that's crooked. We're just going to snip that. I can't cut a straight line if my life depended on it with scissors. Are you guys the same way? Am I the only one that struggles? And we're going to put Pop Dot on the back of that. We're going to pop him also. And I'm going to use that foam strip. Love the foam strips. They are great for these little word sentiments. And then he's just going to get popped right here in the bottom corner. Happy Easter. Okay, there we go. See, I can't cut a straight line. And then we're going to add some bling. So grab your pokey tool, your tweezers, whatever you like to do. I like to use tweezers because that way I can shoot them across the room. Not really, that's just what happens. And I like to do a little 1, 2, 3. When I do bling and rhinestones, I always like to do them in odd numbers. Odd numbers is more kind of appealing to the eye. Yeah, I was designing the other day and I shot one and Ken came in and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking for a rhinestone and it's shot somewhere." And I never did find it until I got in the shower and it was stuck to my arm. Okay, we're just going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm using the little purple ones. You can mix the colors up and use whatever you want. But I'm just kind of putting them on the sharp edge. Oh yeah, drawing a straight line. Can't do that either, Sandy. Cannot do a straight line. So there's that. There's card number 3. Card number 3. You never know what you'll find in the shower. I lost one of my Misty magnets one day too, and I couldn't find it, and I looked everywhere for it, and I look and it was stuck to the shower drain. So how the heck that got in there, I have no idea, but it magnetic itself. I can't talk. Okay, card number 2, cute little shaker. Cute little shaker. Okay, we are doing good on time, guys. We are doing great. Doing great. Okay, let me move those cards. Okay, our last card is an A2 card also. An A2 panel, so just a white A2. White A2. Now, here's the sample that we're doing. And again, I put a piece of ribbon on it. And I originally had it on my card, and I was like, oh, I want to put a piece of ribbon on it. So in order to put a piece of ribbon on it, I cut my card off, and I will glue this to another piece. So right now I'm just making a card front, and I will glue it to another piece, okay? So on this one, I love that die. I loved this die so much that I thought, ooh, how cute would it be to cut out those little pieces and piece them together? So if you have the die, grab the die, use that. But I'm going to do these and show you the version without the die for those of you who just have a corner rounder. So see, I'm kind of doing it both ways, different versions. So for some of you guys with the die, without the die, we like to mix it up. You're going to grab this piece of paper right here, and you're going to cut out 4 of these guys. It doesn't matter which 4 you want. You're going to cut out 4 of them. I'm just going to cut them all out really quick. I'm going to use the Easter egg. I'm going to use the So Excited. So Excited that has the pink plaid on it. I really like plaids. Plaids are fun to design with. I like plaids. So we got these 2 so far. And then I'm going to use the 2 flowers. So the 2 flowers that are left. And it looks like I didn't clean that edge up very well, so I'm going to go back in and clean that edge up. Had a little bit of other colors on there. And again, my flower has an edge. This is why I love that trimmer. I can cut straight and just cut off that little 1/16 of an inch, and it doesn't bum up in that trimmer. I love it. Love, love, love. Okay, so here's my flowers. We're going to take our corner rounder. I have this one. I like this one because it has a small, medium, and large on it. It has all 3 sizes. I'm just going to use the medium size. So that's right here. And I'm going to do opposite sides. So just like that die, I'm keeping 2 sharp edges and 2 rounded edges. So there's those 2 right there. Same thing with my flower. I'm going to round 2 edges. And that's going to go there. We've got our So Excited. Whoops. And we're going to round those. So what I did is I flipped the edges so we have sharp edges together. And then we're going to do the egg. And I'm just rounding. Oops. Evidently, I'm... Okay. Rounding those edges just like that. Okay, excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back. I gotta grab something. Got our edges rounded. So that's kind of what we're going with. This is our design work. We're going to leave a little bit of white space here, a little bit of white space here. What I like to do is I kind of alternated them. I altered it. So these two guys get glued flat, and these two guys are going to be popped. I could have popped them all, but I like to have a little bit of different layers because it's a little bit more interesting to the eye. So that guy goes right up in the top. He is flat. Thank you, Frida. Thank you so much. And the next one is going to go in that bottom corner. Okay, and then these two guys are going to get popped. Again, I'm going to use that low foam. Low foam. I'm kind of a low foamer girl. I know Deanna's a high foamer. Oh, Deanna's extreme foam. We'll call that. She's extreme foam. I like just a little something, something. Okay. And then that is going to go up here. So we kind of have equal spacing. And then this guy's also going to get popped. Card number 3, sorry, is a standard A2 card. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper, cut in half and scored. Sorry, it's a standard A2 size. Card number 3. Okay, got that. And then we're going to go in and we're going to pop our Easter bunny. So little Mr. Bun Bun, and I'm going to cover up that egg part. And you know what? I have foam tape stuck to my table from an earlier project, so I'm going to go high foam with that one because it's just here and available. Actually, it looks like I pulled it off of another project. Okay, we're going to pop the bunny on there. And then again, we've got the large Hoppy Easter. We're going to chop that guy off. If you want to... Oh, whoops! Oh, goodness gracious. Spilled my water and I even had a lid on it. Told you I'm a hot mess tonight, girls. Save the cardstock. Well, that one's definitely getting matted on something now. Even had a lid on it. Good thing we had a kitchen roll around. I know, right? It is real-time crafting. Crafting 101. Hopefully you guys had those measurements. Because now they're disappearing measurements. I know, happy hour. And I haven't even been drinking. That's the scary part. Maybe I should have been. Okay. It's just water. It's all good. It all happens. It all happens. Real-time crafting. We all make messes. I get 5 more minutes now, right? Because I had to take time to clean that up. So let me dry my card. Right side, my space got a little cleaned up. Real quick. Let me just dry my card off. Might buckle a little bit, but that way we can work with the dry card. Oh, you needed those measurements. Ooh. Might have to catch them on the replay. They'll be on the top of the thing in the replay. They are disappearing now. Okay, where were we? Before Kourtney made a mess. Man, that was terrific. We're cutting off Happy Easter. Cutting off Happy Easter. Okay, Happy Easter is cut off. We're gluing it down up here. So I just glued it flat. You could pop it if you choose to. Okay. Oh my goodness. Ribbon. We're going to go back with our ribbon. Wrap it around the card. Every single one of these I thought just need a little bit of ribbon. A little bit of something. Add a little texture and fibers to it. It's got a wave. It's just waving at us. It's like, hello. Hello. It'll get glued down to a card base. That'll hold her down. Maybe. It's distressed, right? It's distressed. Okay, there's that. What else are we going to do? We're going to add our rhinestones. So there's our bling. I'm going to put a little bit of bling up on the bunny's little headband. I don't know what to call it. Little floral arrangement. Put some bling up there. And then the eggs have to have some bling too. So we're gonna go in and bling up those eggs. And for this one, I did the green rhinestones. Oops. There we go. I just wrapped the ribbon around. So mine was a card front, so I cut my card off, and I'm going to glue this to a card front and pop it up on a card front. So that's how I kind of did that. And then we're going to add some buttons, green and then 2 pinks. Another trick that you can do with your cards when you have them to run the ribbon through it, what I've done too, is I will take my card and I will take my tweezers or something and poke a hole in it. So I will punch a hole and then I will run the ribbon through it. So your ribbon wraps around your card, which is what it would look like. It would look like that. The ribbon would just wrap around the inside of your card. You can do that also. Another little trick. Okay, buttons. We're down to our buttons. So we've got a green one. A pink one. Yep, you could totally use your trimmer too. Line it up and cut a slit and put your ribbon through it. And 3. All right. I'm going to bring in the one that doesn't have ink spilled all over it, except the edges. So that is my Crafty Hour for Crafty Hour number 35. If you haven't grabbed a kit, make sure to contact your home store, and we have kits available for you. If you're just wanting to grab more paper pads, I know we have paper pads and some of the ephemera available individually also. So that is Crafty Hour number 35. I hope you guys had a great time, and I hope you enjoy them. If you missed Diane's presentation this morning, make sure to go back and watch her. She's on the Clipper Street page, and you'll see her beautiful cards that she created. Tomorrow, we will go live with Crafty Hour 37, and Diane and I will be doing and designing Crafty Hour 37. It's a great kit at a super affordable price. Deanna and I were like, we're gonna do this one very, very affordable again. We're gonna pack it full of products. There's an amazing embossing folder in there that you guys are gonna absolutely love. So since I have a moment to squirrel really quick, because I got 5 minutes, I was telling you guys about buttons galore. So the pieces for the Ghibli bits and stuff. I know both stores have these, but there are the sparklets. Sparklets are amazing for your shaker cards. The little sprinklets, which are clay pieces, these are lightweight. Those are great for your shaker cards. We also have these called jewels. They're faceted little gems. These are also amazing for shaker cards. Again, sprinklets, the little clay pieces. Then there are the half pearls, which you could use those for shaker cards. You could glue those down. So that's those. So those are great pieces to also put in your shaker cards. And so thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure to click that you are going to the event tomorrow for the reveal. It is 9 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Central for Crafty Hour 37, and Deanna will be doing a live reveal of the contents of the kit. I will be on moderating, and we will have the links to both our websites at that time for purchase. So have a fabulous night. We will see you tomorrow, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.